my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like a raindrop. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. Let's sing together. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Are we singing together? I hear me. Here we go. Enter, rejoice, and come in. There we go. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Turn to somebody, wave and tell them, hello, I'm glad you are here. Hello, I'm glad you are here. Today will be a joyful day. Hello, I'm glad you are here. Everybody say good morning to Jane. Everybody say good morning to Jane. Good morning, Jane. Today will be a joyful day. Everybody say good morning to Jane. Wave to Lisa Horton. Wave to Lisa Horton. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Welcome back, Tony. Everybody, welcome back, Reverend Tony. Everybody, welcome back, Reverend Tony. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Everybody say hello to Dale. Dale! Everybody say hello to Dale. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. One more time, enter, rejoice. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Danbury. My name is Reverend Tony Lorenzen. I'll be leading the service this morning with Reverend Sierra Marie Gerfao, and my pronouns are he, him. And today is my first day back from sabbatical. So if you want to talk to me, send me an email. Remember, I started an hour ago. This morning, we celebrate our annual ingathering service and water communion ceremony, kicking off our program year, as well as a month of Sunday services on the theme of belonging. I ask you to silence your phones if you're not done so already, because you don't want to be that person. so we can be fully present in our time together. And let's take a moment to wave hello to those online and greet each other, old friends and new here in the room.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle, in the power. Spirit, draw near.
Maisie, would you like to come up and lead the children's affirmation with me? It's so good to be together. The words will be on the screen.
We are Unitarian Universalist. We are people with open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. We care for the earth and each other.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
We make this time and place holy simply by the fact of our being together here with each other. We start our services as Unitarian Universalists by lighting the symbol of our faith, which is the flaming chalice. And I'm going to have Zelda help me light the chalice while we all join in saying the words for our chalice lighting affirmation. Love.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
So it's been raining. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how we reminded ourselves that we are made of stardust. We are made of atoms from stars that died long ago. And it turns out that rain is also containing atoms from stars that died out long ago. So stardust really has been raining on us and connecting us through our shared need for water. So I thought today we could do a little meditation, a little body meditation on water. The way that this is going to work is that I'm going to do something with my hands or my feet. And the people on this side of the room, on the far end of this side of the room, are going to start doing the same thing. And then when you see somebody next to you doing it, you're going to start doing the same thing, and kind of like a wave until it gets all the way to this side of the room. Okay? So we'll start here, and then it'll just keep going. And we'll see in this meditation if we can make our own rainstorm.
Today, as we celebrate our congregational community and belonging to each other with our water ceremony, we recognize that water is a symbol of life. It's life-giving, and so is our life in community. Being in community also is something that gives us life, enables us to be our best selves and live our best life. As all living things need water to live, so too do all people need a loving, supportive community to thrive. This lesson was reinforced for me this summer when my wife arranged as a sabbatical gift to take me to Portugal for a few weeks, which has been a lifelong dream because my family's from Portugal originally. So we planned to go to Portugal. And one of the things we planned to do, and we did, was we wanted to learn at least basic tourist Portuguese. So we wouldn't be those ugly Americans expecting everyone to just speak English to us, even though the Portuguese are great with English. So before we went, we studied a lot. So we could at least try to speak to people a little bit in their own language. Good morning. Bom dia. Bom dia. And the most important thing I learned from this was a little language goes a real long way. We were able to check in at the hotels in Portuguese. Tenemos uma reserva. We ordered meals and asked for the check. A conta, faz favor. And we knew to wave the waiter down because they don't just keep checking on you in Portugal. You got to like drag them back over. I learned how to get my coffee to go. Para levar. Uma bica e pastel de nata para levar, faz favor. Because we could speak just a little bit, we learned the story of Sylvie and her husband who ran a fabric store in Coimbra, and they've been there for 52 years. And because we could understand what she was saying, she talked on and on and on. We got about half of what she said. But we did catch that they'd been there for 50 plus years. This is their life's work. They loved this. And we bought tea towels and a tablecloth from them. We had a conversation in a cafe with our server about how tourists and tourism were ruining the housing market in Lisbon for people who had grown up there all their lives. Because people make more money selling Airbnbs, nobody can afford to rent an apartment in Lisbon if they can find one. And we had that conversation half in Portuguese and half in English. A college student working a summer job at a gift shop in Lisbon was so impressed that old American people were talking to her in Portuguese, she called over all her coworkers. Listen to this. They were all more about our age, and they were really over themselves laughing at us. But they were so pleased, they gave us their 20% employee discount on everything we bought. It pays off to be nice to people and bridge that gap. Our efforts to speak Portuguese broke down the barriers between us and showed the good faith on our part that we valued them, their country, their culture, them as people, for who and what they were, not just as our vacation accessories. It reminded me that we are called to be, all the time, multilingual and multicultural, to learn about others, to do our best to live in their culture, see the world from their point of view, not just demand that they live in our world and speak our language. What a difference it makes to assume the responsibility yourself to bridge the gap that separates us. As Unitarian Universalists, we are asked to do this with our faith. This room's full of people who have various religious and spiritual beliefs and practices. And as a UU community, we don't expect everyone to cater to yours. We expect each of us to learn how to accept the others. Last year, we studied transgender inclusion. And what we were doing was learning the language and culture of trans and non-binary people so that we might be better at creating real belonging. It's not always easy. There's always going to be misunderstanding and mistakes when learning a new language, when living in a new culture, when bridging differences. There will be times when we don't understand things or feel lost or need to ask for help or even unintentionally hurt someone. The first couple of days in Portugal, I had constipation. So I had to go to the pharmacy, and even not feeling well, I'm like, I'm going to speak Portuguese. Probably shouldn't have. I asked, in Portugal, you can't get stuff over the counter. The pharmacist gives you everything and goes through, medicine interactions, all this stuff. So I asked the pharmacist, "Tem alguma coisa para constipação?" Do you have something for constipation? Or so I thought. She asked if I had a fever, a cough. Why wasn't I wearing a mask? Have I had a COVID test, a flu test? And the look on my face made her say, "Can I speak English with you? Do you have a cold? No. The flu? No. Constipation." Oh, she tried really hard not to laugh in my face. She really did. But the people in line behind me cracked up. Because in Brazil, the word for constipation is constipação. But in Portugal, it's prisão de ventre. Constipação in Portugal is a cold. Then I laughed, and she laughed, and everyone behind me in line laughed louder. And I got my medicine. I felt better the next day, and life went on. It was okay. Because you make just a little effort and speak just a little bit of someone else's language and culture, you can get your interactions beyond the transactional and into real relationship. That's what happened to us while we were in Portugal. Most people were really pleased we tried to speak their language, and many people helped us if we got lost or struggled, and we ended up having some conversations in half Portuguese and half English. And during these conversations, it really struck me over and over again how deeply the waters of the river of life flowed between us. The beginnings of connection and community between different people was tangible in these moments that we had over and over again because we made a little effort. And in those moments, the world seemed a little smaller, a little closer, a little more connected, and a lot more of a hopeful place.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
I invite you to join me in the silence of community, the quiet of compassionate company, and the stillness of the Spirit. Your response for this litany is, everything will live where the river flows. Everything will live where the river flows. Let anyone who wishes take the waters of life as a gift. Everything will live where the river flows. The great sea has set me in motion, set me adrift, moving me as the reed moves in a river. Everything will live where the river flows. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. Everything will live where the river flows. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. Everything will live where the river flows. Waters flow from high in the mountains. Waters run deep in the earth. Miraculously, water comes to us and sustains all life. Everything will live where the river flows. At Blackwater Pond, the tossed waters have settled after a night of rain. I dip my cupped hands. I drink a long time. It tastes like stones, like leaves, fire. It falls cold into my body, waking the bones. I hear them deep inside me whispering, "Oh, what is that beautiful thing that just happened?" We celebrate how the river of life flows through this community on Sundays by taking a few minutes to share the milestones of our lives with each other. Whether it's by silently placing a stone just to let everyone know there's something going on with us that we want to mark, or by briefly sharing out loud something that is deep in our heart. So first, I invite those of you who would wish to share a milestone silently to come forward and place a stone in the water. Will have been seen and heard. Let us sing together.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love. We rest in this love.
When you give your time and energy to the congregation, and when you donate to its financial support, you are each giving gifts to one another. Each one gives to and receives from all our members and friends. Together, we give to the community around us. So we'll take up our offering at this time. And at the same time we take up the offering, children will be coming around to collect donations of non-perishable goods for Dorothy Day.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
So there are 6 verses to that song, Peace Like a River. Peace like a river, joy like a fountain, love like an ocean, pain like an arrow, tears like the raindrops, and strength like a mountain. You've been invited to bring to this service and into this community waters from a place of significance for you. We'll sing all verses of Peace Like a River in just a few moments. And during the song, you're invited to bring waters and their thunderous celebration of joy and love, to bring waters to wash over the pain, to join in the tears, and to bring waters to carve out places of peace and enable mountains of strength. When the verse that speaks to where you want to bring your waters today is sung, please bring your waters forward and pour them in the bowl on the chancel table. And if you've forgotten your waters, feel free to pour some symbolic water. We also have small pouring vases for kids. Pour some symbolic water into the bowl as well. And if you are online, you are invited to type the word water into the chat when we come to the verse where you might want to symbolically pour your waters. So we collect the waters to represent those gifts of the earth and these gifts of community, which we offer open-heartedly to one another now.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got strength like the mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Please join me in a blessing of these waters. I believe the words are in your order of service. Spirit of life, may this water be a sign and a symbol of your presence and power. For without water, there is no life. Wherever this water is present, may it remind us of the life-affirming power of belonging to our congregational family, the sacredness and worth of every living being, and the power of love. Amen.
This morning we have gathered water brought from many places, representing many things that are important to us and that give us life. We pulled the waters together, a symbolic watering of our congregation. It is here we are watered and fed so we can continue to practice our values and grow in our faith. We take the life-giving spirit of belonging to our congregation and bring it to others. I invite you now to join me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Ate proxima, until next time. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing Blue Boat Homes, number 1064 in the teal hymnal, and the words on the screen.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port I have known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry seas, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companion, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the light of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat. I give thanks to the waves upholding me. Hail the great winds urging me on. Greet the infinite sea before me. Sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port I have known. Wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue home.
We invite you to stick around for coffee, for the festivities. And when you do leave here today, go in peace and share those waters of life and community with those you meet.